Alright guys, as promised, good old Mustang sound clip here. I was going to take it for a ride, but it's getting dark and deer are going every crazy around here. Let's get away from it for a second. There we go. Deer are going a bit crazy around here, and I'm not going to risk taking it out at night because it's when they start moving. So here's a little bit of a clip of the Mustang running, so we guys get an idea of what it sounds like. And next, so we'll take it and drive it one day I get home before it gets too dark. So here you go. Alright, there's the Mustang. Actually, let's go ahead and take it. Screw it. It's running good. It's getting warmed up. I'll catch you back in a second once I get my Jeep moved. Sorry guys, audio isn't going to be the best. Obviously it's an old vehicle, a little bit loud. And I don't have a GoPro, which is something I probably really need to invest in if I'm going to be doing this stuff more often. So, here it is. I'm going to set this kind of down in the window and let's go. Obviously filmed in Mexico. Well guys, that happened. The Mustang is due for a little more work now. Obviously you'll see, I'll show right now, I'll insert a quick clip of what I found on the floor when I took the Mustang out just a few minutes ago. Well, Merry Christmas to me. Don't know if you can tell what that is or not, but antifreeze. What? Well, it looks like maintenance for the winter has changed. It looks like, now I know you can't tell from here, but I did a little investigating earlier. We got head gaskets to do. So I'm by no means surprised. I mean, I do not take it easy on that Mustang. So to say that I'm surprised, you know, isn't true. I'm not. So now we get to investigate motor. So probably next couple videos you're going to see me probably getting that motor out, possibly. We'll see. We'll see how we're going to attack this. But as you can see, antifreeze. So what's that mean? What are we going to do? Well, I didn't anticipate breaking the motor open, I guess you could say. It's not the first time. It's been rebuilt, obviously. And it really doesn't have that many miles on it, which kind of surprises me. Like, I know when this thing was finished up in 2006 that it had a fresh rebuild. But, I mean, it does set probably more than I would like. I mean, it gets driven, you know, once every couple weeks. But, I mean, we probably can contribute the head gaskets to maybe how I drive. I don't know. I run it hard. There's no doubt about it. So I had kind of thought about pulling the motor this winter anyway. It needs a clutch, so I figured maybe the easiest way would be to pull the motor out, and I wanted to detail the engine bay, and I also wanted to detail the engine, just kind of clean it, repaint it blue, kind of that Mustang blue or Ford blue that it currently is. I wanted to repaint it anyway, so I'm thinking what the best bet might to be now is to go ahead and just pull it. Obviously, I got an engine stand, put it on the engine stand, pull the heads off of it, inspect everything, make sure there's no cracks, because I've been reading that. After discovering this, I've been reading that in the rear passenger side block section they can crack, but you can't see the crack because it's up behind the bell housing. So that might happen. I might have cracked it. It might just be a head gasket, blown head gasket, bad head gasket. Maybe it's just bad sealing to begin with. I did jump under this and confirm that I can see antifreeze between the head and the block. So I definitely know 100% it's a head gasket issue. I mean, there is a little bit of antifreeze up by the temp sensor plug on the intake, but there's no way it's creating this. It's definitely a head gasket. I confirmed. I saw, antifreeze between the head and the block. I know for a fact we're gonna be doing head gaskets, so stay tuned. This is going to happen sooner than later, obviously. So like I said, I'm gonna pull the engine, detail the engine bay, detail the motor. I'm going to put a clutch in it, obviously do the heads, gaskets, and then just kind of check the motor out. I have the heads off, so I'll probably check, make sure all the bearings and stuff are still tight. Doing head gaskets on this thing really doesn't worry me too much, because I'm pulling the motor anyway. It's really not that much more to pull the heads off. Maybe I'll get lucky and find a warped head, and we can put something else other than the stalkers back on it. If everything pans out fine, I'm going to put the stock ones back on it, but unless that gives me a reason not to, we'll see. Doing them really doesn't worry me. Like I said, the only thing that I've never really done would be like the backlash on the rockers. I mean, I have feeler gauges. I can watch YouTube video. I can probably figure out pretty quickly. I'm pretty good about that. So we'll see how that turns out. So like I said, just stay tuned for the upcoming episode on this. We'll probably just start out like part one, because I'm sure it'll be a couple parts, like pulling the motor and then separating the engine, transmission, that type of stuff. I imagine I'll have to cut the exhaust out of the way. I don't think there's any connections up in that area. So I'll probably have to cut the exhaust out of the way and then have to worry about that when I put it back together. So I'll probably make it a multi-part series. Like I said, I do have head gaskets already. They did come in. And I do not have a clutch yet. So I got to make a decision on a clutch and then get a clutch ordered. Because I'm not going to need that right now because I have some time before I put everything back together. I'm probably going to do clutch, obviously throw out bearing. I'm probably going to put a new flywheel on it, and then look into like the pilot bearing on the front. Probably put like a roller needle bearing. I don't know what it has in there now, so we'll just kind of see what it has. But I obviously replace all that anyway. Have it apart. I'm not going to skimp on a $12 bearing, right? So it'll come. So stay tuned. Here comes the Mustang refresh, we'll call it. If you like what you see here, subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you guys next time.